In this episode of Crystal Uncorked, we are talking about something that I am losing my mind over from a marketing perspective, an automation, efficiencies, time-saving perspective for your business, which is Chat GPT. Have you heard of it? I want to know what your thoughts are. I'm going to share my thoughts and some cool ways you can use it in this episode, so let's dive in.
Are you ready to open up and talk about all things business? I'm Crystal Vilkaitis, a curious entrepreneur who loves talking about business, especially over a glass of wine. I started Crystal Uncorked to share open and honest conversations about my journey and talk to other entrepreneurs about their experiences. We pull back the curtain and talk about the highs and the lows. Wine isn't required, but is recommended. This is Crystal Uncorked.
If you are watching this episode, I am in a new location. I am in my hotel room in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm here for the Outdoor Retailer Show. It's a snow show, so a bunch of the outdoor stores are here buying. And I totally felt like I was at home in Colorado because everybody was dressed like they would in Colorado. And it's like hiking and biking and just all the fun outdoorsy stuff. So we've had a really good time at this show. I'm here with Pauline, my COO at Crystal Media. We've been also spending time outside of being at the show, brainstorming and talking about new product offerings for 2023 and just talking about our brand and our messaging and getting really clear on some of those things so we can have ultimate consistency with our brand. We're talking about some new courses and training that's going to come out this year. A lot of really fun stuff, but it just I can't stress enough the importance of mixing up your environment when you work. It's actually proven that your environment makes a big difference in your productivity. There's a great book called Willpower Doesn't Exist. I think that's what the book is called. And it talks about, it's all about environment. It's not about willpower. And so anyways, like when I'm on the plane, at airports, in hotel rooms, and then just traveling and working with, Pauline or somebody on my team in a new location, I feel incredibly productive. So if you haven't done that, I recommend it. Anyways, let's talk about the topic at hand here, which is Chat GPT. Now, if you are my friend, if you are our insider members at Crystal Media, or if you're my team, you have heard me talk about Chat GPT because I am talking about it all the time. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, ChatGPT was created by OpenAI. The way that you can find this website is chat.openai.com. And basically, this is software that allows you to put in a question or prompt, and through this software, it's AI, it's artificial intelligence. So basically, a bot is answering your question or is delivering whatever you're asking for. So, some of the examples that you'll find people talk about are like writing poems or summarizing an article or writing. I'm on their site right now, and they're actually down right now because they're at capacity because it's so popular. Like ChatGPT grew to a million users. I think it was within 5 days. That's some of the quickest growth that we've ever seen a website or an app achieve. 5 days, 1 million users. If that gives you any idea the power of this thing and how people are just like catching on and it's blowing their minds. So anyways, on the site here, it says, write a limerick about the status of ChatGPT. And so it had a bot write the status, and this is what the bot wrote. ChatGPT is surely the best, but its servers are put to the test. With so many users chatting, it's no wonder they're lagging, but they'll fix it soon. No need to fret. A bot wrote that. Pretty darn good, huh? So, why I'm losing my mind. So let's back up for a second here. I'll tell you some of the use examples and like how you would use this for your marketing and to save time in a little bit. But I know for sure there are people that probably even read the title of this podcast and were like, no, no, closing my ears. I don't want to listen. Please don't tell me. This is too much. I don't want to, no, they're not on board. I actually posted a story last week on the Crystal Media Instagram about one of our keynote speakers, Mark Schaefer, for our conference Evolve that's happening in Denver. And Mark wrote this article and he was talking about the power of Chat GPT. And in my story on Instagram, I was agreeing with Mark, and one of our retailers, Taylor, responded back to me and was like, I'm coming to Evolve, but this is scary. I don't know if I want to learn this. And I was like, I promise you, this is not scary. From a marketing perspective, this is a game changer, and we're going to walk you through it at Evolve. We're going to just be talking about this probably all year. If you have not heard about Chat GPT and you're like, Crystal, I feel like this is lame that you have a topic about this. First of all, thanks for still listening, even though you think it's lame. But secondly, you're going to hear so much about it if you haven't already, that you're going to be like, oh, okay, I get it. I feel so strongly and so confident that this is going to be massive. I think it's really going to be a game changer on how we do business and marketing. There's a lot of talks about students and homework, because now you can go to Chat GPT and say, write an essay about the Civil War, and it could write an essay for you. And let's say it didn't really sound like you, like you're more friendly, you have a more friendly writing approach. So you can say, rewrite this in a friendly approach or in a friendly tone, or professional or whatever. You could have it, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper until it narrows down and creates exactly what you're looking for. And so teachers are going to have a hard time knowing, was this created by a bot or it was actually written by the student? You can ask it questions. It can give you answers. There's a lot of conversations about, is this the competitor to Google? We haven't really had a Google competitor. I think it absolutely is, because it also does a lot of the work for you. Obviously, there are concerns with, where is this information coming from? Is it plagiarized? And to my understanding, this is unique information. And I think that, in my opinion, it's very new. And so we need to see how this is working, right? When you have a new website that comes out or a new app, you get on board, you start testing, you start learning, you find bugs, you find issues, and you evolve, right? And you adapt. And so I think that maybe there could be some of that from a plagiarism perspective. But I don't know, is there a way that this bot, I don't know enough to answer that question, so I apologize. But I just wonder, is it able to store any query that it's ever given to somebody who entered something, that it does not ever repeat, or it's not, copying word for word from a source that it's quoting to write these articles. So that's definitely a big thing. The homework thing is a big thing. I feel like we're going to really have to have kids do their work in the classroom, so they're not leveraging tools like this when they get home. But, and then there's also negative sides too, of how much is too much with its capabilities, because Chat GPT is able to write code. It's able to solve problems. If a coder was coding, but then it went into testing to have it work, but there was a problem, they have to then troubleshoot and try to figure out what's the problem with their code. Where's the error? And that could take hours. You can plug that in, and ChatGPT is going to tell you where the problem is. And so boom, that's going to save time. But the concern is, can it create code to hack systems? And I think that these are very great questions we need to be asking and we need to be monitoring. But for the sake of this video, I need us to put our marketing hats on. I need us to put our business hats on, because there is a shit ton of good that can come out of this platform. And I think it can start saving you time today. So let me just give you some examples of that, okay? I was thinking about retailers because at Crystal Media, that's who we serve. And for a retailer, let's say that you had an employee that was late to work again, and you didn't know how to, like, you're so frustrated and you're like, oh, I have to write them up and this is like the last thing I want to deal with. You're dealing with a million things, but like it needs to be documented that they've been late again, but you want to do it professionally. So you just go to Chat GPT and you say, write up an email of an employee being late again. And boom, it wrote up in the matter of like 10 seconds. It wrote the full email, just like 2 paragraphs, addressing the issue and the fact that it has happened multiple times, and then giving a call to action, basically, of like what's going to happen if this happens again. Of course, you just take that copy, you can edit it, make it sound however you would, and then boom, you send that email or you print that on a piece of paper and it's done for you. Because I know some people might be like, I feel like it's pretty easy to write up an employee. It's like, you were late again on this day, this can't happen again or you're going to be fired. Please sign here. Sometimes though, you're like, it's the end of the day, you're mentally fried, you feel like you can't form words, you're like, I feel like this needs to be more professional. Do I need to be more in depth on the course of action? Like, you just can't, and it takes up like all your thinking energy. So just have Chat GPT think for you, basically, and write it for you. Okay, let's talk about your social media. This is for anybody, right? You are like, oh my gosh, I just am so stuck on what to post on my social media. If you feel that way, you're like everybody in the world. I think that everybody has a hard time posting stuff on social. We feel like we're boring. We feel like nobody cares. We feel like I've said it already. We don't feel creative. Like, there's so many reasons why we're not getting it done. So you're going to go to Chat GPT and you're going to say, write 10 social media posts for a jeweler. Write 10 social media posts for a local insurance agency who specializes in farms. Write 10 social media posts for a social media agency. And then maybe it gives you the 10 and you're like, make them shorter and add emojis. And so you're wanting it to be even tighter. And then let's say it sounded too robotic. It didn't really have a personality. So you're like, write it as if a best friend was saying it. And then it's going to make it sound friendly. It could be like somebody from the South. If you have a Southern business and you say y'all and you need it to kind of like for that to pull through, you just can narrow it and narrow it and narrow it. And now all of a sudden you have 10 ideas that the bot wrote you, that actually wrote you the captions for, and then you can go ahead and find an image for it, or you can do a video for it. You can get more narrow too and say, write 5 Instagram posts for an open house that's happening on January 10th. Add the dates. I did something where it was like, write an email for tickets to Evolve selling out soon. And the price is, and the event date is, and it wrote it, and it was really good. And I was like, rewrite with a fear of missing out feeling. And so it wrote it more like, don't miss out. This is going to be the best event of the year. Like, it was the marketing copy. Again, like, we feel like we just can't form the words. Like, I don't know how to make this zhuzh it up, right? My friend Robin says zhuzh a lot. Like, how do we make this great? Or better, or creative, or stand out. It can write subject lines. It can write blog posts. Maybe there's an industry article and you're like, I want to talk about this article. So I'm going to paste the article copy into ChatGPT. I'm going to ask it to summarize. And then I'm going to take that summary, and that summary becomes a script that I'm working off of to do a video summarizing this industry article. Look how easy that is to create content. Dustin did it he was playing around with it because I got him on fire with it because I just talk about ChatGPT all the time. I'm always like, oh, and we'll use ChatGPT to do that, and we'll use it to do that, and we'll use it to do that. And so he was plugging it in for social posts for us, for blog posts. So SEO, Vi Wickham, a previous guest I had on, still says blogs are one of the best ways to drive organic website traffic. And so that means that you could go to ChatGPT and say, write me a blog post about, let's say that I'm a pet store. Write me a blog post about the top training tips for puppy owners, for people, dog owners who just got a puppy for the winter time. Okay, if you're a pet store, you're like, Crystal, that was the most stupidest, unhelpful topic I could pick. I'm just riffing here, okay? But you get the point, right? Just who are you writing the blog post for? What is it? Is it tips? Is it education? Is it trends? Advice? And then if there are specific points you want to hit in there, like for example, in the social media world, some of my top trends for 2023 are TikTok and Chat GPT and live streaming. And so I could be like, talk about the importance of these three things and how they're going to be the top 2023 trends. And those are my social media predictions. Those are keywords: 2023 social media trends, social media predictions. I can have those keywords. You can even say using the keywords, and then it writes that blog post for you. You can modify it to sound like you. You don't have to use it exactly as is. If you use emojis, use emojis. If you say holy guacamole, then add holy guacamole into some of those points. And then you're going to put that on the blog. That's going to help from an SEO perspective. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've seen people on TikTok use this to create shopping lists. To say, give me a weekly shopping list for groceries that caters to a certain kind of diet. And then you can be like, okay, so then it might write out like paragraphs, let's say, and then you can say, okay, now do this, but do it in bullets. So then it makes it even shorter for you. Okay, now do this and assign it to the days of the week of what I'll be eating. Like you're taking that list and these recipes and where it's going to go. Like it's organized. It can just organize your entire fucking life. It's so amazing. Because I'm traveling, I didn't have the time to go in and I wanted to create a bunch of prompts to just give you a bunch of examples of the stuff you can do with this. But hopefully I gave you enough in this episode of writing emails, writing blog posts, writing social media content, writing documents or write-ups, things like that. It could possibly write procedures for you, writing code, solving code problems, writing poems and lyrics, giving content ideas. That's just some of the examples of what I can do. Homework. So I will be talking a lot about Chat GPT over at Crystal Media. And so if you want to follow along with those conversations, especially if you're a retailer, follow us at Crystal Media Co. And then also go to Evolve, my conference in April 2023. We still have tickets as I'm filming this. Go to crystalmediaco.com/evolve to get your ticket. But we've oh my God, our content there. We're not just talking about ChatGPT. Our content is so diverse and so amazing with great keynote speakers and breakout speakers. And it's all about retail, social media and marketing and leadership and inventory. It's going to be epic. But let me just circle back to kind of the beginning of what I was saying. If some people are going to be closing their ears and they don't want to hear this because you didn't grow up with this technology and it feels overwhelming and it's another thing you have to learn and the unknown is scary. We have fear around the unknown. The best thing is we're going to use it. We're going to see what we learn from it. It's still very new. We're going to learn a lot from it. And I always like to be optimistic with stuff like this, that to see the good of what it can do. I'm not naive. I know that there's negative sides, but I think that together we can learn about this platform and really understand how it can save us time and in our personal lives, in our business, and really help us stand out. I just think from a marketing perspective and copywriting perspective, it's a game changer. So what I would encourage you to do is don't feel the scared or the fear from it. And I don't want to tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want, but I would just encourage you to be open-minded with Chat GPT, to start asking questions throughout your day if you need something written or if you need ideas for something. Can Chat GPT answer those for you? Can it write it for you? And you're going to start, as you start just asking questions about that, how could this help me? I think it's going to start opening your mind. I just ask you to have an open mind with this. It's incredible. And if you totally are no, I still don't want to, I get it. That's fine. It really reminds me when social media started to become a bigger thing outside of just, a platform for college students to connect with on Facebook. When MySpace started becoming bigger and Facebook became open to more people that didn't have a .edu UR or email address, and it started networking, and people were like, whoa, social media, this might be something. that was me. I was like, this is going to be fucking huge. This is going to be a big deal. It's going to change our lives. I just knew it. I was like, this is the way brands are going to connect with, this is going to completely change how brands connect with consumers, how we connect with each other. And in the beginning, people thought I was crazy. People thought, no, I don't want to hear it. No, there's no way that's going to happen. This is like, no, that's like a decade away. No. And it took about 2 years from that point to really start seeing the adoption, to where I would be watching, football games, and they're saying to tweet this out and follow us on Twitter. And this is the NFL, like your big brands. Like, obviously I don't need to take you through the history of social media. It really took off and it really changed our lives. This is the same feeling I have. I have no doubt. And so if you don't want to learn it today, that's okay. I just think it's going to be a big part of our world in the future. And so I encourage you to have an open mind about it and ask questions and get curious about it. More to come on Chat GPT. Very excited. And I'm just so looking forward to the new year. I don't know how you feel, but I've been feeling really great in the new year. I love this time of year. Feels like the fresh start, and I feel like I have a lot of energy and ideas and creativity, and I've been on the road connecting with really amazing people, so that's been a lot of fun for me. So I hope that you're having a wonderful start to the new year, and I will see you on the next See You. Bye.
Hey, real quick, if you are a retail store owner, I would love to see you at Evolve. This is my in-person marketing conference happening April 26th and 27th, 2023 in Denver, Colorado at the Gaylord Rockies, which is a stunning venue. You get to spend 2 days with me and my team and keynote speakers, as well as other retailers looking to evolve their marketing, business, and lives. It's an intimate event. We only have 200 tickets available, and we've already sold a lot of those seats already. So this event will sell out. Do not delay, because we have special pricing depending on when you hear this and when you sign up. And I would love to see you in that room. So go to crystalmediaco.com/evolve. That's crystalmediaco.com/evolve to get your ticket. And I would love to see you there. And thank you for listening to this episode. Bye.